Hey friends, Bridget of Rooted Sky Homestead. Guess what we're up to today? Can you see him over my shoulder there? Yay, it's dandelion season. Let's get picking. Okay, couple things. So one, you can see all these beautiful violets. We have these growing at the homestead, so I'm not going to be picking any of these today, but it's good to know that they're here in case I have next season, if some of mine don't come up, or if it's not like a mega bloom, then I can come here and harvest some. Another thing is that it's getting ready to rain. That's why I came today, because I want to get these beautiful flower heads before the rain comes. And I'm also picking these. These are the buds that have not opened yet. So these are open, these are unopened. And look at those beautiful yellow pollen covered fingers. So I'm taking a few of these from each of the stands because I'm going to make pickled dandelion buds. Oh look, this one's just getting ready to open. Dandelion makes me think about my first time in Vermont, and we were staying at a friend's farm. He had built everything with his own two hands, gravity-fed water system. They used propane for the refrigeration. The whole entire cabin was built out of birch. It was beautiful. And the cabin window faced the Green Mountains. So imagine this, but with dandelion heads larger than the palm of my hand. They were otherworldly. So one dandelion head was bigger than the palm of my hand, and they were like 4 and 5 feet tall. So they came up to above my knee when we walked through the field facing the Green Mountain. But can you see where I've harvested? No. That's good foraging right there. I'm just about done, and I'm gonna get back home before the rain hits, but I wanted to come. You can see how many are flowering right now. And it's better to harvest when they're open and the pollen's fresh and they haven't been rained on. So that's what sparked me to run up here today. This is the little park by our home, and it's full of abundance. So I'm very, very grateful to have been able to be opportunistic right now. A couple more things to consider. This is a pea zone. See how it's right by the tree? This, in between the tree and these posts here, all along the post are pea zones. The dogs walk down, they like what they smell, and they pee. But usually in between, and then all the way out here, not a pea zone. So just keep that in mind when you're foraging, where you're foraging, and what else may be utilizing that space. Sometimes, you're gonna wash everything off, it's not a big deal, but I prefer to just kind of stay out of the pea zone. Okay, I'm back home. Now it's time to sort the flowers into one bowl and the buds into the other. I'm making 2 different preparations with the dandelion. Here we go. Here are all of the dandelion flowers, and here are the buds. These will be pickled, and these are going into an infusion. So I'm pouring warm water over them where they will steep for about 2 days to really pull out all of the beautiful sunshine. Now, the thing about dandelion is that once you pick it, it's go time, because the flowers will start to shrink up as the day progresses, because they like sun. They like a lot of sun. So bringing them indoors, they shrivel. Aw, such a sweet flower. This was kind of cool. It's like, what am I looking at here? All right, we're gonna put these, haha, here I am. We're gonna put these into the jar where they will steep. Few dandelion flower heads that have been eaten in the process. I'm pretty swollen right now. Like my lymph system is ready for some dandelion. I ate some salty foods and I'm all puffy, and this is a beautiful remedy for that. So I've been eating the flowers as I've been getting everything ready to rock and roll. And I'm really gonna pack them in here. This is a half-gallon container. It's gonna hold a lot of flower heads. The water is warm. It was not boiling. Whenever we're doing infusions, we don't want the water to be at the boiling point, just nice and warm. And I am going to use this cap. This is a fermenting cap. If you don't have one of these, you can use the regular metal ring and use like parchment paper or wax paper. If you don't have that, you can use cheesecloth, and if you don't have that, you can use a dishcloth or a paper towel with the ring going around it. You want this to have that access to air. You can also use the metal ring with the metal top, and make sure to open it up once a day and just let the air out. You want to burp it, they call it. This isn't quite fermenting. We haven't added any sugars to this yet. This is an infusion, so it's just going to sit in the water, let all of the goodness come out of the flowers, and that'll stay in the water, and we will use that in the next couple days for our ferment. We're going to ferment this. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to add all of the buds. Now these buds never opened. Okay, that's important. You don't want the ones that have the fuzzies, because ooh, that would be a nightmare in the mouth. Speaking of nightmare in the mouth, I had some Concord grapes that were frozen whole, and I made a smoothie today. Well, I ground up the, oops, a flower made it in there. I ground up the smoothie. See, this one's just beginning to open. And I didn't strain it through a cheesecloth. So the inside of my mouth still is burning from all of the little fine hairs inside of the grape seeds. That was not a great move on my part. The smoothie tasted delicious, but it was painful. Okay, so I did a modified recipe. This is 2/3 cup apple cider vinegar, 1/3 cup water, a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and a little bit of pickling spice. I'm going to pour that on top of the buds and put them in the fridge, and they're just going to do their thing for the next couple days until we're ready to use them. And usually quick pickled vegetables can stay in the fridge for about 6 weeks. So here we go. These are going to just do their thing for the next couple days, and then we'll take them out and give them a try. First year making pickled dandelion buds. They call them, some people make these as capers. I, again, modified the recipe a little bit. Afterthought, one thing that I wanted to share. If you live in an area where you don't have a lot of dandelions coming up in your yard, or you don't have a public park where you can go foraging, ask your neighbors. I've knocked on my neighbors' doors a couple years in a row and asked if I could pick their dandelions, and they were super happy to let me. Just be sure not to leave the stalks, because, you know, a yard that just has a bunch of headless stalks isn't very attractive, and we're trying to bring awareness to all of these edible foods that grow in our yard, and people like for things to be pretty, right? All right, guys, have a great day wherever you are, however you are. I hope that you are doing well.